Hey guys, I'm here today with the tutorial video. The iPod Touch. It's pretty cool. It's got a bunch of apps for it, and it can play music too. It's got a lot going for it. And even has stands you can put it on too, like the universal dock that connects it to your computer or your TV and you can play music from it. However, that's about $50 or so. And that's pretty expensive. I don't think anyone really wants to spend that on just like a simple stand. However, I'm here today with a few alternatives so that you can make your own stand from simple things like an icebreakers container, 3 paper clips, and even a soda can, in this case Mountain Dew. Now, I'm going to say right now that you're going to need tape and something to cut, like a knife or a sharp pair of scissors, so you can cut this. But more on that later. I'm gonna work my way up from easiest, or the lazy man's way, I like to call it, to the most difficult, which is the soda can. So I'm gonna start with the easiest, the icebreakers container. All you gotta do, open it, place it down, stick the iPod Touch in. There you go. Perfect. It's a stand. You can put it in there. Just make sure it's clean though, because no one wants mints or anything in there. Sure, it'll smell nice, but it gets dirty. Okay, so that's case number 1. That's pretty simple. Case number 2, or sorry, not case. Stand number 2 is 3 paper clips. Now, you might be wondering how you could bake a stand out of 3 paper clips. Well, it's actually pretty easy. All you need to do, to start off with, is take 2 paper clips, make sure the inner ones are facing away from each other. Oops. Yeah, like this. And then, all you gotta do is bend them, like that. And then you gotta do this for both of them. So, okay, like that. Then, what you gotta do is you gotta line these 2 sides up next to each other so that the longer sides are together. And then you gotta tape them. So, I'm gonna do that after a while. Well, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, now I got it done right there. It's all taped up together. Now you can adjust them like this, bring them closer or bring them farther apart. Now what you're going to want to do is to bend this up like that and bend the other one up like that, so they're like this. And you might think you're done, but there is a problem. See, when you put the iPod in the stand, there's nothing to support the back. So, we're going to have to use another paperclip as a support for the back. This is probably the hardest part of it, and it's still not that hard. So, you're going to have to get it like this. What you're going to want to do is, once again, fold the inner part down. Then you're going to want to bend this so that it's like this, so that it lines up like that and that there's a back support there. And then you're going to tape it so that it's on the opposite side of this. So I'm going to come back after a minute and then I'll show you. And here it is, all taped up, and we have a stand. So all we got to do is put it like this, stand it up like that. There you go. It's standing. And if you really want, you can do it in landscape too. There you go. You've got yourself a little stand. But personally, this looks kind of cheap, doesn't it? I mean, it works and it functions great, but why do that when you could do a soda can? Now, the soda can is definitely the hardest, and it's probably the most dangerous to your safety, because you're going to be cutting with knives. The first thing I'm going to recommend is that you cut it in half about there, And so one jump cut later, and bam, we have half a can of Mountain Dew. But we're going to have to do a bit more cutting. See, depending on where you want it, you're going to have to cut 2 bars there and opposite that there. So after I get that done, I'll come and show you. So, with a little editing magic. Alright, now we have our not black bars, we have the bars cut out from the sides of the Mountain Dew can. Now, last thing we're going to do is we're going to cut, in this case with safety scissors, because safety is important. We're going to cut right here, about there. So I'm just going to do that. And, ow, it's a sharp noise. And there we go. I'm just going to round off the edges a little bit. And here too. And yeah, there we go. That's a stand. Now, if we just take this little piece of metal away so no one gets hurt, we have one iPod stand. And, because we have the bars cut out, you have that too. You can do it in landscape. Now, I don't recommend doing this if your iPod doesn't have a case, because the sharp edges can really scratch up an iPod, and that's not good. So this is probably only best if you're using a case a lot, or if you bend down the edges so that it doesn't scratch it. That's probably the best thing to do if you don't own a case, but if you do, then it's probably okay to leave it in there, but I'm not sure. But anyway, let's review. We've got 3 cases. The icebreaker case with the upside down iPod inside of it. Yee. We have the paperclip stand for landscape and portrait. And we have the soda can. Now, for the soda can, that can easily be replaced with any round object like a yogurt container. Yogurt container is probably the best thing because it doesn't have the sharp metal around it like the soda can does, so it won't scratch up the iPod as much. But I didn't have one available at the moment, so I couldn't use one. In conclusion, be safe when using the scissors or the knife, whatever you use to cut, and have a good day with your new iPod stand. I'll see you later.